It's time for the SP and Bushy Show. Here's your hosts, SP and Bushy.
I probably would pick the money on that point. Yeah, where it's just like, hey, okay, yeah, who would be the first coach fired? I'm really kind of curious.
I don't know. That's a good.
Yeah,
question.
Fangio would probably be a logical
I
explanation.
think he might. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if they start off like really slow, I think, and this is a new GM, and he's not an Elway lackey.
Hottest, right?
Yeah, I think his seat would probably be the hottest right now.
Because of the people who somehow managed to keep their jobs, his would have to be, I would think, like.
Yeah, because everybody else that I think of has new coaches.
Right.
I
think I would. Think
yeah. Jets have a new head coach. Yeah, Baltimore. Yeah, they would be pretty. Since.
I mean, yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, Houston has a new coach. Houston has a new coach. Yeah, he'd probably be the most logical right now.
Right.
Yeah. Philly has a new coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, Giants are kind of in the second year, I think.
Right.
Yeah, same with Washington. Oh, man, I wish he went in probably like June, maybe after all this drama thing. I really think Green Bay could be one.
Green Bay could be. I agree.
Green Bay could be one. Yeah, if they start off like really slow. Yeah, like Chicago. I think Chicago, if they really start off, I think Nagy's gone.
I don't think so, because didn't they make the play? No, they didn't. Did they make?
Oh, they did make the playoffs last year, but yeah, they were 8-8, and they've gone all in on this whole Justin Fields thing. Yeah.
Well, they went all in on the Justin Fields thing, but it's not like it's not like they're that far off from Trubisky. So I mean, I think Nagy's got at least another year.
No, I think
Denver.
I think Denver, Green Bay, or Chicago. That would probably be your best bets, because I think people are probably getting sick of this Nagy era in Chicago too. So, and if they start out slow, if they start out 1-7, 1-8, we could see a firing for Chicago.
He's fine. He's staying.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is my way too early 2020 prediction. Matt Nagy is going to be the first coach fired. There you go. That's good. That's my prediction.
All right. Well, I'm definitely not banking on that. That's for sure. I'm gonna bet on either LaFleur at Green Bay or Vic Fangio.
Yeah, really, LaFleur. You're really just banking on the whole Rodgers saga plays out and he gets traded. That's the only case for that.
Right, and LaFleur won his division last year, so it's Fangio. I think Fangio's got to be the even money pick right now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure as well. Yeah. If you get the odds, show it to me, because I'm really kind of curious who everybody else is. Yeah, because I'm looking at the NFC West. I mean, really. If San Francisco, if San Francisco has a tumultuous season, I think Shanahan could get fired. Because it's just because I'm thinking like New Orleans and Tampa. I feel like Sean Payton has a really long leash in New Orleans, so you're fine with that. Bruce Arians just won the Super Bowl, so I think he's that. Carolina, Matt Rule. Yeah, it's just and I'm looking at anybody in the NFC. Yeah, I'm looking at anybody in the NFC East too, and it's just like Washington, Ron Rivera, second-year coach. Same with Joe Judge. Who knows with McCartney as well, and Philly just has a new coach. I think Chicago could be a sneaky pick. Yeah, if the odds are good for Matt Nagy, I would probably put money down on Matt Nagy.
I think he's safe.
Yeah, I don't really see anybody in the NFC North, because Pittsburgh doesn't fire their coach. Same with Baltimore. Right. I think Cleveland. I think expectations are high in Cleveland. I think they'll keep him. Yeah, Cincinnati's the only one that's a. 20 years. Yeah, Cincinnati's the only question mark that I see.
Okay.
So That's the only
Yeah.
person. And yeah, same goes for the AFC East. Everybody's kind of either a new coach or they're pretty secure for their position as well. Yeah, and the AFC West as well. Yeah, really. Other than Fangio, I think everybody's pretty kind of in the pretty safe as far as their jobs.
Absolutely. I mean, I think everyone's doing pretty safe too. Now, let's talk about it too. Albert Pujols just announced his retirement, or didn't announce his retirement. He just got cut by the Angels.
Yeah, he's a great career right now. He's had a great career. It's just, I guess it's time. I mean, he kind of announced that he was retiring after this year. It's just really, I mean, it's just you hate to see it with a player like him.
I wonder if the Cardinals sign him to kind of play that Jason Giambi like bat off the bench role, just to end his
the nostalgia world tour. Yeah, for
Right.
Pujols. Yeah, it would be fitting as well. I mean,
guy's obviously a Hall of Famer, 667 career home runs. Like, I mean, guy's a fantastic player. Obviously, he deserves all the credit. And I mean, like I said, I bet you see the Cardinals ink him for the rest.
Yeah,
of the season.
I think they would try to ink him. I really do.
Speaking of which, they're in first place, by the way.
They are in first place. Yes. And they're starting to come on strong a little bit, especially in a very good Central Division. With St. Louis and Milwaukee right now. We'll have to see with that. And well, who knows with St. Louis? They're very a hot and cold team. I wouldn't mind. You'll probably see them kind of cool off a little bit. They have played the Mets, who stink. Really, they do. And then they're playing the Rockies as well this weekend.
Well, I'm sure that's going to be an exciting series. I can't wait to see that one.
Oh, that is going to be fun, and I know a certain somebody is going to be very excited. I think he's going to try to hit like 8 home runs.
He might. And they might give up 8 home runs to him.
We'll have to wait and see.
Their pitching's been better. The Rockies have been better. I can't give them a hard time. They've been a lot better, actually.
Yeah, really. Minus like 2 Marquez starts. Yeah, the starting pitching actually has been pretty good. And San Fran is pretty good as well. They're top of the division right now, but I feel like it's going to kind of tater off a little bit. Posey's really hitting the ball really well, and just a lot of the old guard, I guess, with the Bell, Crawford, and Posey. I mean, Crawford doesn't have a good average, but it just seems like he always bats like 500 against the Rockies. He always has. He can go 1 for like 20 the previous series, and then when he plays the Rockies, he could bat like probably like 500 with like 3 home runs and like 6 RBIs. Yeah, but we'll have to see if like the old, especially with the old guard, kind of tater off a little bit once Posey maybe gets into like a cold streak as well.
You were right about the Jake McGee implosion, though.
Yes, I was right about the Jake McGee. It was fun to see that. I'm not kidding. Like during that second game when they announced that he was pitching that last inning, I was like, okay, we may have got the shot. No, what really was his problem. That really for a couple of really was his problem through his whole Rockies tenure was he would get 2 quick outs. Like he would get like 2 out of the first 3 batters out. That were the problem, was getting the first 2 outs. It was that last out, and that was the same thing that happened to Shaw as well. Like he would always seem to get like 2 quick outs.
No, I watched Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw didn't get anybody out.
Oh, I watched it. Trust me, I probably watched a lot more than you did.
You probably did, but it felt like every game I was at, Brian Shaw, the Rockies would have a nice lead. Brian Shaw would come in, walk the bases loaded, then give up a granny. Every time.
That could be the case, but yeah,
every game I was at. I know you were obviously at more games than I did, but
yeah, I didn't
get anyone out.
I was definitely at more games, and it just felt like he always get like 2 quick outs, Like when he was kind of struggling, it always seemed like he would get 2 quick outs, but then he just couldn't get that third hit. He would give up a single, give up a walk, get up another single, and then give up like a bases loaded double or clearing double, and the game is tied.
Like I said, I went to every game I was at that year. He would blow it, and I don't think he got anyone out. That's me personally. Like I said, obviously, like I said, I don't go to as many games, but every one that I was at, Brian Shaw would blow it. It got to the point where, like, there was a game where, like, they brought him in, and Andrea and I just left and went to the bar.
That's probably definitely smart for you.
Yeah, exactly.
On your point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was always the knock on McGee. Like, he would always seem to get 2 quick outs, but then boom, single, boom, another single. Oh, then a double by either the left or right field line or into the gaps. And yeah.
And then
you
Charlie
saw
Blackmon home run.
Yeah, and then a Charlie Blackmon. Well, he wasn't the pitcher at that point.
Right, yeah, they pulled him.
Yeah, they pulled him. But yeah, I mean, he did give up 4 earned runs during that time. And really, it was crazy to see that I worked that doubleheader, and really the atmosphere with like the fans and from the stadium. I mean, it was like dead. I mean, really, they could have had a funeral with that environment, and it probably would have been the same. Really, I mean, because of game 1 and then game 2, it seemed like Rockies kind of climb back, but then Giants scored 2 quickly the following inning, and then they would add on more as well. But it's amazing how much an inning would change the environment of a team. It really, after the walk-off, a lot of people were happy. A lot of people were excited. They were just like, yeah, go Rockies. I mean, really, that one inning changed kind of the perception of like that Rockies day in general.
Right, it really did.
It did, yeah, and it carried over to the next day as well. Just a lot of people were excited for that game, and I love the atmosphere with the game so far. People have been coming and enjoying the game so far with the limited number of fans that we've seen at Coors Field.
Was there anyone there when they played the Astros that had like an inflatable trash can?
Unfortunately, no, because I think it was too cold. I did see a couple of signs with Houston trash hose. A lot, yeah, a couple of boards with the trash can as well, but no inflatable trash cans, unfortunately. And we can't bring in a trash can too. So
right. I just was watching the Astros Yankees the other night, and then some lady, I guess, brought her own like inflatable trash can.
Oh man, the New York fans were letting them have it. That was insane.
I loved it.
They were letting them have it. Oh, I love it. I love it. Anytime they make fun. I know. And then I feel bad for Dusty Baker because really he's in a no-win situation with this point. Yeah, he's telling people, oh, you should lay off on them and all that. And I'm like, no, like they're getting what they deserved. I mean, really, this what should have happened last year instead of this year. Really, I mean.
The problem is that Dusty's just like an innocent bystander who's caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, it really is just a shame for him. Like, it's just like, no, like fans remember this. And I'm just so happy that the fans remember this and didn't have like a short-term memory and be like, oh, yeah, that's right. They were part of the trash can scandal. No, baseball fans are really happy to have what they had. And
right.
Yeah, they're letting them have it. It's great.
And it's been a year of pent-up stuff that was going to come to them last year that they didn't get. And now they're getting it.
That really having no fans in the stands last year really helped the Astros last year. Yeah, because they could relax a little bit. But yeah, this year, yeah, we've heard it, we've seen it too with Oakland making fun of it by playing Ace of Base. Rockies played it as well, and then people booing Bregman, Altuve. Unfortunately, Springer isn't on the team. Hopefully, people people have been giving Correa a lot of stuff as well. So it really is a bad season for Houston right now, and I think they're kind of affected by it. You really kind of see it. I don't know if we talked about it.
I wonder if it's going to wear off or if it's going to continue though.
I think it's probably going to continue because really I think they were going to embrace the villain roles. Like, oh yeah, we were going to be the villains, and you saw it the first week of the season with the start that they had, but they really started tailing off a little bit as well. And yeah, and you see Altuve. Even though, he homered today, he's actually having a little bit of a slump, and you see a lot of memes with people with trash can memes. So it's good to see. It's good to see
Yeah.
that we are healing as a nation. We have a common enemy, and it is the Houston Astros.
I wonder if it's going to continue for all 162 games, or if like by the 8th time they visit Seattle, if they're not going to be banging on the trash cans or whatever.
We'll have to see with that. Yeah, that's going to be the good test. They haven't played a team so far yet on the road twice so far. So they haven't played anybody yet on the road inside the division. So we'll have to see it. Yeah, when they go to LA or Oakland again, will they be getting the trash cans out again?
Right.
But you'll definitely hear it when they go to Yankee Stadium, when they go to Boston. Yeah, when they go to I don't know. Are they playing it? Yeah, if they go. Oh man, if they play in LA, baby, yeah. For the Dodgers, they're gonna let them have it. The Dodger fans are gonna let them have it with that as well. And it's coming. Yeah, especially since Dodger fans are upset because it cost them the World Series as well. But
right.
But you got to remember too. I mean, the Dodgers had Game 7 at home too. They still gave up that. I mean, it's not that point. Yeah. I mean, it's just it didn't seem like they had the sign stealing on the road. So you're kind of a fault of that, Dodger fans. You had Game 7 at home, and you lost it.
They did, but once again, there's also momentum and stuff involved too. And so after a few games on the road there, when all of a sudden Kershaw signs are getting picked off and whatever. Although we got to bring back the meme of the week, and the meme of the week I saw is this meme of Greg Maddux, and it's him saying, I guess it's a quote from him saying, "I'll tell you what. Don't worry about stealing the sign. I'll tell you what I'm going to throw. It's an 89 mile an hour sinker, and you're still not going to swing at it."
Yeah, you're either going to swing at it or you're going to ground it a double play or ground out to the shortstop.
He's like, you're not going to swing at it. It's like, I'll tell you what I'm going to throw. I'll throw this. You're not going to hit it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was back in the old days when they first started playing professional baseball. That was the case. You had to tell the batter – the batter had to tell the pitcher where to throw it. Like, throw me one right down the plate or something. Throw me one right down the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I guess the Houston Astros in a way just wanted to go back to they wanted to play old timey baseball. Oh, why am I defending them? Get out of there. It sounds like I'm defending him right now. Defending him. Forget that. Trash can. I think I'm baiting on the trash can. There you go. They're scums.
All right.
They deserve to be booed.
They deserve to
be every game on the road. They deserve to be booed.
Absolutely. Now, also, obviously, like I said, I was at the bar. I saw the Yankees giving it to the Astros. That same night, I also saw a thing. It was on NBA TV talking about the 1996 NBA draft. And it's a very good draft. 25 years old now. And it seemed like a good random jumping off point for us here. But, I mean, obviously, it's an interesting draft. There's some good picks. There's some head scratchers. There's some weird trades and stuff. So, I mean, really, it's a kind of a draft that had it all.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Having the really, I mean, just looking at it right now, I mean, the first two picks are really, really decent picks. I mean, Allen Iverson and Marcus Camby. I mean, Marcus Camby, could have been a Hall of Famer had he stayed healthy, really.
Right. And, I mean, obviously, even when he wasn't, he was still a great player who was just a really, really good rebounder and just a force down low.
Right, yeah, and number 3 as well, Sharif Rahima. I mean, he had a solid career as well.
He did
playing in the NBA. Same with Stephon Marbury. He had a very solid career. I mean, the first 5 picks are.
I don't know what the context of it was, but I think like Minnesota ended up like trading for Starbury instead of keeping Ray Allen because Minnesota drafted Ray Allen, but then I think they traded him or they traded that pick to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee ends up with Ray Allen, and the Timberwolves end up with Starbury. And it's like the Timberwolves could have had 2/3 of the Celtics' big three because they get KG the next year.
Yeah, they could have had their own version of Big Three in Minnesota.
Right. They could have had them early on.
Yeah.
Instead of playing together at the end of their career, they could have played at the beginning of it.
Exactly. Yeah, and just I'm just looking at everybody. I mean,
Ray Allen and drafted by the Timberwolves, and then you have the Timberwolves trading him for Marbury, basically.
Yeah, it's just just looking at all the games played by these teams. Really, I mean, as far as with the top 10 picks, I mean, the lowest really have been Samiki Walker and Kerry Kittles, and Kerry Kittles was okay for the Nets, especially during the.
Decent.
Yeah, they were pretty. Yeah, he was pretty decent with those Nets teams of the early 2000s when they had Jason Kidd. Yeah, and number 10, Eric Dampier. I mean, he was a solid. Yeah, he was a solid player as well. And then obviously the big one we got. I mean, the big one has got to be Kobe. I mean, Kobe.
Right,
I mean, if you redraft in this draft, I mean, he is number one.
AI
Kobe
two.
goes. Yeah, Kobe goes 1, AI 2, and then who knows with number 3? I mean, Vancouver may take Steve Nash. I mean, he may take him number 3, and he'd be a Canada darling.
Or do you from Canada? Ray Allen third,
or he'd take Ray Allen third. I mean, that would be probably
Nash
the question.
Allen, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I probably would take Steve Nash. I always liked his playmaking ability. I just feel like he was just a great point guard, and with his playmaking ability, you would have to. He was a little bit of a project early on in his career, but once he started flourishing, oh man, he was a good player. I always liked Steve Nash, even though I hated him when he was on Phoenix because he always would destroy the Nuggets, but he was always a good player.
I mean, I might have to go Ray Allen. I mean, Ray Allen is the all-time leader in three-pointers.
Yeah, you got to go all-time three-point leader. Obviously, that's going to be passed by Steph Curry sooner rather than later. But
right, of course.
Yeah. Oh, and also, I mean, Jermaine O'Neal would probably be a top 10 pick right now. Would be in the top 10. Yeah, Jermaine O'Neal. He was a really good player for those Pacers teams. And he had some really good role players too, like Zydrunas Ilgauskas. He was a good big man. He was a good big man for that time. Dante Jones, he was. That's the Ron Dante Jones. My bad. I thought it was a different Dante Jones, but yeah.
Let's not forget about Peja.
Yeah, Peja was really good. I mean, he was.
Peja, I drove Peja pretty high in this group.
Yeah, you would as well, and. And then you have Derek Fisher, a really good role player for those Laker teams.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean this draft is really a all timer. I mean,
good one.
You got to put it up there with the '83 draft with Jordan and all them or '84 draft actually with Hakeem and Jordan and all those. Yeah, that it was great and yeah, obviously seeing who the Nuggets pick. Oh my God, what a terrible pick! Good God.
The Nuggets. All right, for those of you who didn't live in Colorado in the 90s, the Nuggets basically from the time until they drafted Carmelo Anthony made the dumbest drafting decisions you could possibly imagine. And that was especially true in 1996 when they drafted I'm going to butcher his name because it's very Greek, but it's Efthimis Rentzius.
He probably was like a trade. Did we trade him for anybody? Like,
yeah, I no, I don't think we did.
It feels that way. It feels like okay, we drafted this player for like a trade as something.
He never played a game with the Nuggets. I know that.
He never played a game for the Nuggets. He was a terrible pick. And yeah, that late '90s, early 2000s, like really pre-Melo. It was probably like post Mutombo, pre-Melo. Man, that was a vast wasteland of – I mean, think about what, like, Detroit is right now. That was the Nuggets during that time. I mean, just bad draft pick after bad draft pick. Really, I mean, they
were worse back then.
They were – oh, yeah, it was probably worse. I know people make fun of, like, the Knicks, but, man, I mean, I would at least have what, like – at least what like the Knicks had compared to the Nuggets teams of those late 90s, early 2000s. They were a vast wasteland. Nobody went to those games. Those games were always Really, I mean, you couldn't get tickets away, and I remember we would always go to a
Yeah.
game in spring break, and we would get like the 4 family pack where we get 4 tickets, 4 pizzas, 4 Pepsis, and then like 4 of the miniature game balls, and they were only for $50, folks. You got 4 tickets, and
Nobody
they were
wanted them.
decent seats too at the
Yeah,
old
you still
McNichols
wanted them.
Stadium. That's how bad they were back in the day.
Right. Like even when the tickets were that cheap, I still didn't go because I'm like, they suck.
Yeah, everybody didn't go. It would be the 1 or 2 Nuggets games we would go at a year, and I wouldn't pay for tickets, or we would never pay for tickets and stuff.
Right.
I mean, it was bad. I don't know if I mentioned
they-
this I don't know if I mentioned this with the podcast. So we got club level seats the year the Avs won the cup in 2001 at the Pepsi Center.
Yeah.
We got club level seats for like 5 or 6 games, but in order to get Avs games, we had to take 5 or 6 Nuggets games. Like that's how bad they were. Like you're just like, you want to go to Avs games, you must take these Nuggets games as well. That's how bad they were back in the day.
They were awful. And I mean, we're gonna talk. Let's. I just want to go through, and we'll start in '96, and we'll go to '97, and we'll talk about just this array of wasteland picks from the Nuggets. That the Nuggets, the following year, with the 5th overall pick, they take Tony Batty.
He's probably the best out of this. Yeah,
The group.
he's probably the best one out of this group. That's how bad it was. Yeah, and it's
837 career NBA games.
yeah, and it was
The guy
bad.
The Nuggets took in the 2nd round of the '96 draft is Jeff McGinnis, and I can't tell you how many games he played because he didn't play that many, and it's not counted on his Wikipedia page.
And Tony Batty only played 1 season with the Nuggets. One season.
And he was drafted 4 picks ahead of Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, 4 picks of Tracy McGrady. Trying to think anybody.
I mean, they drafted him ahead of McGrady. They get him.
Yeah, there's really nobody outside of probably McGrady that I would probably have in this draft. Really.
Well,
I mean, other than probably Bobby Jackson, but he was just
the Nuggets ended up with Bobby Jackson.
The Nuggets ended up with Bobby Jackson, so I'm really happy about that. I mean, granted, he was actually probably my favorite player out of all those people was Bobby Jackson. I loved Bobby Jackson back in the day, but it's just
even
really
Jackson
bad.
went on to have a decent career. He was in the 2nd round.
Yeah, he was a great player, and oh man, I would not take anybody. Really, except for those 2.
Even in
Steven.
the '96 draft, no one drafted Ben Wallace, and Ben Wallace obviously goes on to have a better career than a lot of these guys.
Yeah, a lot better than that Zadunis Zalkis guy that the Nuggets drafted.
Epimus Ranzius. I don't know.
Yeah, he's that bad that it's just like we'll butcher his name.
Let's call him Euro McSpanakopita.
Yeah, that was back when like the Euros were like very hit and miss. I feel like a lot of the Euro players today are a lot better than the Euro players back in the day. Like I really do. Like they were like you would get like a Manu or a Dirk or somebody like that, but really 9 times out of 10 you would end up with like a Darko Milicic or whatever, or the guy the Nuggets drafted.
Right, exactly.
Like that was the case.
Like all they saw was size, and that was it.
And yeah, he was a big white stiff. That's all he was.
Speaking of big white stiffs, 1998 draft, the Nuggets with the 3rd overall pick take Rafe LaFrentz.
My God.
Ahead of Antoine Jameson, ahead of Vince Carter.
Ahead of Dirk. Ahead of Paul Pierce. We could have had Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce and his partying videos.
Crap, I would have taken Bonzi Wells, man.
Larry Hughes were better.
Yeah, and Keon Clark, he played for the Nuggets a little bit.
He didn't do anything. Michael Jack was basically another Rafe LaFrentz.
I would take Rothschild Nesterovich over Rafe LaFrentz. I mean,
Ricky Davis. I'd take Tyronn Lue. Oh, Al Harrington had a decent career.
Yeah, he actually ended up playing for the Nuggets too later in his career.
Rashard Lewis in the 2nd round. Wow.
Yeah, Rashard Lewis and just oh man.
Tino Mobley, he had a better career.
Yeah, he was actually very good. I would take him over Rafe LaFrance, especially early Catino Mobley.
Undrafted Earl Boykins is way better than Rafe LaFrance. Way better.
Oh, way better.
Look at just Nuggets careers. Like,
yeah, but at
Bryant
least
Miller was undrafted, and he was better than who the Nuggets actually did draft.
yeah, it's bad. Yeah, very bad, and it really, I mean, but not as bad as who the Clippers took, and that was Michael Olowokandi. So I'm really, yeah. I still actually with that case, I would take Rafe LaFrance over Michael Olowokandi.
I would take Olowokandi.
Yeah.
How about that? How about this deal? We make a bet right now. I don't know how we find them or get them together for this. But if we get Michael Olowokandi to take on Rafe LaFrance in a game of 1-on-1.
That's gonna be on SP and Bush team when we finally have to when we get a sponsorship from DAZN or something like that. We get that. I mean, Robert Tractor Trailer, man. I mean, especially for a guy for that size. I mean, it's just, and he had Jason Williams too. I mean, White Chocolate. It really, I mean,
yeah,
he had a career that was okay, but I think with like the highlights that they show now, that people would think that he's better than what he really was.
Right.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
better than Rafe LaFrance though.
Yeah, still better than Rafe LaFrance. Yeah, it's bad. This is just
the
bad.
Following year, the Nuggets end up with James Posey. The pick where they would have normally picked was taken by Toronto, and they drafted Jonathan Bender, so they didn't do any better with it than the Nuggets would have. But
no, you could have had some other people. You could have had Andre Miller. Again, he ended up playing for the Nuggets.
Right. I mean, once again, I'm going after 18 when they did pick.
Okay, after 18,
it
yeah.
would have basically just been Andre Kirilenko was like the only one that went on to do much. Or
yeah, probably. Yeah, I actually really like James Posey. I think I reverse my statement with Tony Batty. I think James Posey is probably the best out of this round.
Yeah, I'm not mad at James Posey.
Yeah, I am not mad at James Posey. It was one of these cases where he won. I think he won the title for the Celtics.
Yeah,
and it was like one of those, like, I felt like really happy for him. I'm like, good job, James. That's what I felt happy about.
Exactly. And then the Nuggets, once again, the following year, find a way to trade out of their pick again.
Oh, don't you just love it?
Because they keep sucking and then keep finding ways to trade out of their picks.
No,
it was trading for other people that suck.
No, the problem is that they sucked, but they didn't suck too much. Like, that was the thing. They sucked just enough where they get in the lottery. I know they would suck where they just enough where they would, get into a lottery and get like a high pick, but they would always be picked like fifth or something like that. That was always their problem.
They never won the lottery, but it felt like they were always in that third to fifth range.
Yes. Oh, geez. Another stellar pick from the Nuggets.
Yeah, in 2000 they drafted Mamadou Dene.
And guess what? He never played for the Nuggets. So that's two draft picks of guys that never played for the Nuggets.
Not one second for the Nuggets.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking. I mean, really, nobody. I mean, I guess Eddie House, but he wasn't very good. Michael Redd.
Michael Redd was great. I like.
Yeah, Michael Redd was pretty good. Yeah, I'm looking at anybody from like the second round. Yeah. Oh, Eduardo Nahara, who actually ended up playing for the Nuggets too. So.
And another guy from the Nuggets, or that ended up playing for the Nuggets.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of these drafts, I'm seeing a lot of people. I'm like, okay, somehow he had a cup of coffee with the Nuggets.
Right. Even the number one pick, Kenyon Martin, ends up with the Nuggets, but.
Yeah, and this is like supposedly like one of the worst drafts in like the history of drafts, and somehow the Nuggets get probably a really bad draft.
Yeah, the Nuggets didn't mind for gold in this, struggle of finding anyone anyway.
No pun intended.
Exactly. Yeah. But again, they still are like trying not to draft anyone, so I don't get what their strategy was. Back in 01.
I don't see a pick.
I don't either, so I don't know how they didn't have any picks.
They probably traded for that was probably the trade for Nick Van Exel. Their pick in the second round was a guy named Osame Sisi. So there's nothing on him. So obviously another stellar pick from the Nuggets GM office on that one.
Another guy. Oh man, could you imagine if like Twitter was around at this time?
Oh my God, it'd be just
Nuggets
bad.
GM life would have been like at this time.
I assume it's probably we had a trade with somebody. I assume we traded somebody for one of these picks. I just don't know who.
I don't know, but I mean, I don't know. We sucked at this time. And then obviously, like 02 is like my favorite one.
The cream of the crop, baby.
One of all of them.
The cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop, and that's our boy
Skeetishvili.
Nicholas Skeetishvili. Oh, and
drafted 4 picks ahead of Amari Stoudemire. He's waiting right there.
I know, yeah, and well, we could have just drafted
Nene.
Yeah, we could have just drafted Nene, who ended up playing for the Nuggets.
And then I'd have been fine with it. But then we trade the next draft Nene, and then we trade for Nene.
Oh, and then we had another pick in the first round too, and we drafted a guy named Frank Williams. Did he even play?
I think he ended up going to the Knicks as part of that deal, so I don't think he was.
Oh, for the Nene, yeah, I see him with like the Knicks. So yeah. Oh man.
But he didn't play. Like, I mean, I think he was in the league for 2 years, 3 years.
Hey, they actually won a trade back in that day, trading for Nene. But yeah, that Skeetishvili pick, that was just so bad. Like, it was just like really, I mean, it was back in the day where it's just like you didn't have like a ton of Euro film on some guy. And it's just like this grainy footage that you see, when you're taping like high school films. That's what it feels like. I mean, it was.
Let's be honest. The guy who was running the Nuggets at the time was really just trying to pirate the Spice Channel into his office. And then whenever someone would come by and ask him what he was doing, he had to lie and say he was looking at film on Euros. That's the only way you could have justified this drafting strategy from 96 to 02.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, it's just really, really the only two guys that actually did something were Tony Batty and James Posey. Yeah. Nobody else did anything really. I mean, it's just and 3 of them were like Euro guys, or 2 of them are Euro guys that, I guess Skeetishvili played with the Nuggets, but
really had a stellar 3.9 points per game in his rookie season.
He was the guy at the end of the bench. Yeah, he's that guy. He's that guy at the end of the bench that you cheer for when he gets in, and you cheer for when he gets a bucket or something like that.
Well, basically, the Nuggets wasted a top 5 draft pick on Rudy, is what you're saying.
Basically on a Euro Woody. Yeah,
Rudy.
We were expecting a Dirk Nowitzki, but we ended up getting a Dirt. That's what it was. We ended up, instead of a Dirk, we got a Dirt. Got Dirt. That's what it was.
Or a Dork.
Yeah. Actually, Nene is it shows most win shares. Nene is 3rd on the list of most win shares out of this draft. Amari Stoudemire is 1st, and Carlos Boozer is 2nd.
Well, that's just because the Nuggets drafted Melo the year after. They redid everything. They started actually getting people.
I know the Melo trade or the Melo draft really kind of changed the perception of like Nuggets basketball for almost 20 years now. So, I mean, it has been a nice incline, really, because we were just happy to get back in the playoffs from that dark void. Just seeing them getting back in the playoffs, and then obviously going to the Western Conference Finals in 2009. And Nuggets fans appreciate this because it was bad back in the day. It was very, very bad. It was really, really bad. Oh my God. I know. And it's just Nuggets. That's how bad the Nuggets sucked back. They really did. They stunk. Nobody went to games. Nobody went to games, and you didn't want to cheer for the team.
You did. You went to the Nuggets games when they were playing Michael Jordan. That's it.
Yeah, those were the only games when they were filled up. Yeah, when they played like the Bulls.
Yeah, they played the Bulls, you go, but like that's it.
Yeah, when they played the Bulls, or if like the Knicks were in town because the Knicks were good back then. So yeah, you wanted to
The
see
Knicks,
Patrick Ewing.
Houston, Utah.
Yeah, yeah, but if they're playing like Sacramento or like
Oh yeah.
or Minnesota, like nobody went to those games.
Or the Nuggets versus the Dallas Mavericks now.
Yeah, or the Dallas Mavericks back in that day. Yeah, it was just very, very bad. It's just a very bad team. It was a very bad stretch of Nuggets basketball.
I'm gonna find out who was the general manager like around this time. Because like what was he doing?
I think it was Bernie Bickerstaff, if memory serves me right.
That's gotta be like the word. Like, not only is he like not getting. Oh, it was Kiki Vandaway.
That was 02. That was
Well,
02.
yeah,
He was the one with Skeetishvili.
Yeah, he drafted Skeetishvili.
I can't believe he drafted Skeetishvili.
Drafted Skeetishvili, so that's what I'm saying. He must have had like the grainy ass footage, and before that it was Dan Issel.
Oh, great. Who was in 96, 97, 98?
Let's just keep looking it up.
I'm kind of curious with that one.
Bill Issel.
Oh, okay.
Issel. Looks like it was like a combination of Mike D'Antoni, Bristow, and Dan Issel in 97, 98.
Oh,
96, 97 was Bickerstaff.
Yeah, that's what cost him his job. Training Tony Batty and training Mutombo.
Right.
Oh man, it was just a bad stretch for the Nuggets. I mean, it was just they had no hope. Like they had no hope. You didn't expect them. If they won a game, you were in shock.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because I've been burned by so many of those teams. Here's how you treat the Nuggets as like a relationship wise. Even the fact that they're good now, you treat them as just a friend. Okay, you support them. You send them good texts. You have a good conversation. You're there. You go out with them. But if you ever get serious with the Nuggets, you stay away. You stay away at arm's length. You're like, I'm not going to get serious with you. Yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah, we're not going to go out on an actual date with a dinner. We're just going to stay just as friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you probably heard, because we've heard of the horror stories of previous relationships. Exactly. So it's not a good thing.
Yeah. It's the Nuggets, and we've all seen this dance before. Like,
yeah, that's just my opinion, folks. Like you treat him as just a friend. Like you support him. You're like, oh yeah, Jokic, I hope he wins MVP. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, you don't get serious because if you get serious, you're just going to get your heart broken.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just a bad stretch. And yeah, it goes to show you, we don't do these. We do these unscripted, really. Like I did not think that we were going to talk about the Nuggets draft, from the early to, mid to late 90s, early 2000s.
I had an inkling because I knew if I was going to bring up the 96 draft, it was going to lead down this road. It's like, I mean, I defy you to find me 8 consecutive years or whatever it ends up being, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. So 8 years. I defy you to find me any other franchise in an 8-year span that has done a worse job of drafting in those 8 years. Any franchise, any sport. 8 years worse than that.
I guess we could take a look at maybe the Sabres, but really because but they have talent. No, right. looking at like the stats with like some of these people, like
years, all you get is James Posey
and Tony Batty. Those are the only 2 people that really did something in the NBA.
Team. So James Posey and maybe Nene you can include in that. James Posey and Nene.
Yeah, those are probably the only people. Yeah, you can really kind of include and go like, oh yeah, he was a good player. It was bad. It was bad, folks. It was just
like
bad.
Maybe the Cleveland Browns somewhere in there because they've sucked for so long. But like
Oh,
even then, like there's at least one pick that was good. Like I said, I mean, obviously the NFL draft is like kind of comparing apples to oranges just because you have more chances to actually hit it.
okay, I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up like Manziel.
Right. From like the Manziel era, like somewhere in that 8 years.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then Brady Quinn's in that mix too. Like, or how long was it between Brady Quinn and Manziel?
Yeah. Yeah. Quinn was 07. So yeah, it was Manziel.
So like the between, yeah. So the between Manziel and Quinn, maybe the Browns drafted that badly. But like I said, we're talking like epic. Your team is staying bad for a long time, kind of thing.
Oh, geez. Oh man. I don't know. I think the Browns could have a shot, folks. I'm looking at the Browns. Okay, here's 2000. So I'm going to start with 2011, which ironically enough is coached by Pat Shermer. So yeah, their first round pick was Phil Taylor. He only played for 3 years or 4 years. They
Right.
didn't. 2012 was Trent Richardson, which he only played for a year, and then he got traded. Yeah, a couple of years and then got traded. So, and then obviously we see all the memes with Trent Richardson. So that was a bad pick. 2013 Barkevius Mingo. That was their first round pick. That was, yeah.
Well, I think he's all right, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still in the league right now.
Right. Like he's okay.
He's okay.
He's like James Posey of this group that we're talking about.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, 14, they had Justin Gilbert. And then obviously Johnny Manziel. So that was not a good. They did not hit a home run on those.
That's a pretty bad run right there.
That's a pretty bad run. And then 15, they have Danny Shelton, and then Cam Irving. Both guys, they didn't do well with the Browns, but they're playing somewhere else. So yeah, that's another bad run. And then 16 was Corey Coleman as well, and he was out of the league. This is bad.
Okay, so maybe the Browns might have the Nuggets beat in this category.
Yeah, but then they have their Mello with Myles Garrett. Okay, so
right.
that started the whole Mello thing. But they kind of messed it up too with drafting Jabril Peppers in that same first round. So they hit on one and then they kind of missed on the other as well. So yeah, I don't know. The Browns 11 to 16, that was pretty bad too. That was a pretty bad 6 years.
Yeah. I mean, you got to go from like after 07 when the Browns drafted Joe Thomas and then go from there. Because Joe Thomas obviously is a good pick.
Yeah, Joe Thomas, yeah.
Let's see. I mean,
it was Joe Thomas, but then, yeah, they drafted Brady Quinn that year.
Right, they drafted Brady Quinn that year. It doesn't look like they had a pick.
They didn't have a pick until the 4th round. Yeah, because they gave up a lot, I believe, to draft Quinn. So their first pick was a guy named Bo Bell.
Got Quinn in like the 08 draft, so that's basically a waste there. So from 08,
I don't know. 09 is pretty good. They drafted Alex Mack, who was actually a really good center. So
yeah,
they hit on that, but it was just like I believe he was just like a very good center, but they wanted to do probably something different as well. 2010 was Joe Hayden.
Oh yeah, that's right. They traded with the Jets though. The Browns had like the 5th pick and they traded it to the Jets so that the Jets could draft the Sanchez.
Yeah. Yeah, in 09. Yeah, so that was good. And yeah, Joe Hayden was a really good pick in their 2nd round pick too. Obviously TJ Ward. So
right.
They did really well with those two. I feel like with those really good picks as well. But yeah, after 11, it really goes downhill until Myles Garrett.
Yeah, 11 to 16, that's just really bad drafting. So yeah, you almost have to try and maybe put a Twitter poll. Maybe we'll put a Twitter poll up. What is the worst drafting team? The Browns from 2011 to 2016, or the Nuggets from 96 to 2002.
Yeah, so yeah, we're looking at a 6-7 year stretch,
right?
6, 7, 8 year stretch. Yeah, that they were just bad.
Horrible.
bad stretches, and and you can show why they were basically in I guess kind of like in this weird wormhole for all those years.
Horrible.
They were horrible. They were very, very bad. Wow, that 10 team was really, and Peyton Hillis was really wow. They scored 271 points, but yet everybody talks about Peyton Hillis with that 2010 Browns. Or what?
I like Peyton Hillis.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, everybody talks about that, and they were like 5-11 and only scored 271 points, which was 31st out of 32nd.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive though that Peyton Hillis was able to do anything with whoever the hell was throwing passes at that point. Or to him.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'd stack the box against Peyton Hillis if whoever it was it Brandon Whedon or somebody?
Ooh, I'm trying to think who the quarterback is. Oh, gee, I want to see now. Okay.
Whichever schmuck it is that's throwing passes.
Oh, good old Colt McCoy.
Okay, Colt McCoy, either way.
Yeah. I mean,
some quarterback from the Big 12 who didn't look good in the Big 12 and then went on to do nothing. So yeah, Colt McCoy.
Man, they had a really good
Jake Delhomme, then Seneca Wallace.
Oh geez. Yeah, that long list with the meme with the Browns jerseys. Yeah, that's a very bad one. Yeah. Man, they actually had I think they had a solid O-line. Looking back at it, they actually really had a solid O-line. Why didn't they score? Why did they score only 241 points?
Well, they had Colt McCoy back there.
Yeah, and then they had Josh Cribbs, who was a really good wide receiver and a good returner. Yeah. Really, it just. Yeah, and then they had Ben Watson. And they had Ben Watson. He was a serviceable tight end. I mean, I'm not writing anything, not writing anything home about, but he was. Yeah. Yeah, they had
combined 12 touchdowns, 18 interceptions.
Let's see here. He was he had 6 touchdowns and 9, so that means he probably started.
12 touchdowns and 18 interceptions for their quarterbacks in this season, Bushy.
It was it was bad.
That's bad.
Yeah.
They threw 13 passes as touchdown passes as a team, but one of those was by a wide receiver.
Yeah, it was Josh Cribbs. Yeah, and it helped too that you had Eric Mangini as coach as well. So, yeah. Oh man. Again, you don't know what you get with this show, folks. We will talk about anything. Here we are. We're talking about the 2010 Cleveland Browns.
Yep. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean,
and then that got them the high draft pick that they ended up wasting, and then started this whole stretch of terrible drafts.
Yeah. Yep. It started bad, and then until they drafted Myles Garrett. So yeah, it was bad for them.
Very bad.
Yeah, how's this? Man, they had us. I guess it was the Colt McCoy factor, because it's just like looking at that offense. They actually had a pretty solid offense. I mean, it's just and the old line was pretty solid. How did this team only score 271 points? I guess that's when you have Eric Mangini as coach and Colt McCoy as quarterback.
Right. Colt McCoy threw 6 of those touchdown passes. He also threw 9 of the interceptions.
Oh, this must have been the Delhomme year.
Yeah, they had Delhomme.
Yeah, they had Delhomme.
2 touchdowns and 7 interceptions that season.
Yeah, this was the Delhomme. Yeah, this was the Delhomme
Seneca
year.
Wallace came in and he stopped the bleeding. He threw 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
In his one start, and then they went with Colt McCoy.
4 starts. It was 8 starts by Colt McCoy, 4 starts by Delhomme, 4 starts by Seneca Wallace. Seneca Wallace actually had the best stats of any of these guys.
I don't know. Should we be appreciative of the Broncos 2020 quarterback situation, or?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I know. Do we have to look at a different perspective?
2020, because 2019 was like the worst quarterback year. If we're talking about quarterback years for the Denver Broncos, like 2019 Denver Broncos, like it started off with Flacco, and then it like just regurgitated through like this.
Yeah, then you had. Oh God, who was it?
I'm gonna look it
Yeah, it
up
was
right now.
yeah, it was somebody. It was Brandon Allen. Brandon Allen for like 3 or 4
Yeah.
games, and then
Flacco
it
for
was
8 games, Locke for 5, Brandon Allen for 3.
oh my god. I guess I should be appreciative because we're not the 2010 Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. Actually, 2018 might have been worse because like Keenum got hurt. I don't know. It's been a long time, and Peyton Manning feels like he was so long ago. Give me Aaron Rodgers, please.
Really, really.
I don't care
Oh,
what the Packers want.
who are the other quarterbacks other than Keenum? Because I thought he
Oh
started.
no, he started all 16. You're right.
Yeah, he started all 16. I'm trying to think. Yeah.
It
Was 17. That was bad. Yeah, because it's like he
17,
started out with it's Trevor Simeon, and then he had Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, all right, 17. Yeah, 17. You had Simeon, Osweiler, and Lynch.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that one start. Yeah, Lynch against Mahomes. Yeah, that was going to be the Brady Manning of this generation. Not.
So yeah, and those 3 combined for 19 touchdowns and 22 picks. They got sacked a combined 52 times.
Yeah, that O-line was not very good.
No.
They had a very bad. That O-line was not very good. I should be very appreciative of the O-line that we have now, and I'm very excited too. I'm very excited for that Wisconsin Whitewater guy too. So I'm really really excited about that guy.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm with him. Give him it under the Munchak system. Ooh, he's gonna flourish in a couple of years. It's gonna be fun. We
Yeah.
actually may have a solid O-line the
Right.
next coming years.
If we keep Munchak.
Yes, we will. I believe so. We will keep on check. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, and speaking of football, okay. So I was watching for the first time, I was watching The Last Boy Scout. And the way I guess with the movie starts, it starts with like a football game. And actually it was a very cool, I enjoyed the opening intro song that they had. They were obviously making fun of Monday Night Football, but it actually was a very catchy song. I've listened to it a couple of times on YouTube, so go and listen to that. I think we'll put a link on it on YouTube. But yeah, I was watching the first scene, and they have a guy, like a quarterback, he takes like some sort of illegal substance. Because he gets like a threatening phone call during halftime. So he takes like an illegal substance in order to cover or something like that, or win the game. And in order to make the thing happen, he takes a gun on the field. Like he has a gun on the field. It's like the weirdest thing. But here's the kicker as well. This happened, like literally, like the scene is supposed to happen, and the commentator mentions that there's 2 minutes left in the game. Where did he keep the gun? Like, did he keep it in like a trainer's box or something like that? Like, he obviously picks it up in his pants. Like, it's just like, how does he hide it? Like, where did he get a gun to start out with, and where does he hide it as well? Like, and this is like 2 minutes left in the game. So obviously there's probably 3 or 4 possessions, and this guy was a quote unquote a star running back or a star wide receiver. Like, he doesn't get hit or something like that. And obviously he's high on something. So I'm surprised there wasn't a Plexico Burress situation.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah, you would think that would happen, but it's just like, how does he get a gun on the field? Like, really? And it's just like nobody sees it too, because he picks it out from his pocket too, and he had his jersey tucked in, so it's not like he's fumbling with the gun, like, ooh, and he's fumbling with the football as well. So it's just like he's keeping the
bonkers. I've never seen this movie, but it sounds just bonkers.
Should somebody be like suspicious, like, or like when they're tackling the guy, should they feel something funny, like, wow, like, okay, that's something felt weird, like,
yeah, you actually go to tackle him, and like
he goes to tackle and actually, he gets shot, like, hey, I got shot here. What's with this gun?
Yeah. In real life, someone would go to tackle him, grab the gun, and just shoot him in the leg. Bunch of time.
Yeah, or he would feel something and be like, yo, like he would tell like the ref, like, some guy has something, you need to check his pants or something like that. I checked something down there, and it wasn't a cup, okay?
It just goes to show you that Leslie Nielsen from Naked Gun should just be refereeing every game, because he would have patted that guy down and found the gun for sure.
Yeah, he would have patted him down. He would have gotten a what's the penalty on the play? Okay, because he actually shoots 3 people. Like What's the penalty? You know, do you get thrown out? Do you get the, obviously you get the unsportsmanlike conduct, for A, having a gun on the field, and B, actually using the gun on the
I think
field.
at that point, the other team just gets awarded the win.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. Team forfeits.
Yeah. Well, also, I don't know the context of it, but once again.
Well, it ends with him. It ends with him. He ends up killing himself, like right there on the field. So obviously, that's the punishment. But it's like, what do you do? What happens afterwards? Obviously, there's a big commotion. There's a big commotion. There's four people. Either dead or injured from gunshot wounds. It's just like. How does that happen? Do you call I guess an unsportsmanlike conduct on the guy as he's getting carried off in a body bag?
I don't know.
I agree with you on that statement. I think the other team gets awarded the win.
The game.
They win the game by a forfeit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You murdered other players on the team. That's an automatic forfeit.
I would think.
One would think, but it really bothered me because it was just like it happened like late in the game. Like, how does he get the gun? How does he keep the gun, stable? Really, because it's just you and I have worn football pants. Like, really, we try to keep them as somewhat loose, I believe.
But I was never able to carry a gun in that thing. Also, I'm still bothered by this, and I rewatched it last week when we talked about the Mighty Ducks or whatever week that was.
Right.
So I went back and watched Mighty Ducks 2 again. And it still bothers me that Dwayne Robertson gets called for roping for 2 minutes. And technically it should have been too many men on the ice too, because he wasn't even in the game. He just runs on there and he ropes the guy.
Yeah, he ropes the guy. Yeah, he should get leaving the bench. Like he should have got at least he should have got a game misconduct.
At least 4
using a foreign object.
And there's also 2 minutes for too many men on the ice.
Yeah. Yeah, they should
almost have 6 people out there. Goldberg hasn't made it off yet.
Yeah, going. Well, this is the same referee system. Obviously, you watch the movie. This is the same referee system where literally where Sanderson from Iceland literally uses his stick as an axe, chopping Banks's wrist. It's just like after a goal, it's just like that's all he got was 2 minutes. He should have gotten a game misconduct. That should have been a 5-minute major. Like if there was any real refs whatsoever.
Daphne gets ejected for way less than that on the other.
Yeah. Portman got ejected way less than that. Yeah. It's just like this guy literally uses this stick as a weapon, like an actual weapon.
We have to do a list of because obviously we do the sports movies on the show. We have to do a list maybe at some point of the worst refereeing performances in sports movies.
Oh, it's very bad. Oh, I think hockey is worse.
The gun on this guy is also pretty bad.
Oh, hockey is so bad because I don't know if have you ever seen the movie Youngblood?
I have not.
Okay, yeah, okay. So there's a scene like Patrick Swayze makes a nice pass to the Rob Lowe character, and the Rob Lowe character scores, and there's the big bad goon for the other team. Here's what he does. After the goal is scored. Obviously, this happens probably around center ice or something like that. So it's way away from the play. Okay, this is after when Rob Lowe's character scores. Like the character punches the Swayze character in the back of the head, so he flicks off his helmet and then intentionally trips him on the ice. So he lands on the back of his head on the hard ice, causing him to basically, kind of bleed, as well and end up in the hospital. Wow. And the refs don't do anything about it. Like, seriously, he's playing the next game. How does that happen?
That's ridiculous.
How does that happen? How does he play out? Yeah, it's just bad officiating. Yeah, I agree. We need a bad officiating.
We might have to make a bad officiating list, and that might come up next time.
Yeah. I don't think the refs threw a flag on the play. I don't think the refs threw the flag on the play for shooting a guy in the last Boy Scout.
I don't know.
Do you throw the flag at that point? You're like, what the hell? I guess you're just in shock,
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm just at that point. You're probably ducking for cover. You
don't
want to throw the flag to get shot, to attract his attention. He's got a gun.
Yeah. He's got a gun and he's high on something.
Right. But in any event, Yeah, that one sounds crazy. I'll have to check that one out and really add it to like the list of bad refereeing performances that we might do next time here on the show. Thank you again for watching and staying with us. It's been a blast. We hope you had fun with it as well. And go back and watch all of our other episodes. And have a great night.
All right. Thank you. Peace.